Greetings, human beings, and welcome to the Tuesday Tirade Entertainment Talk Show with Tom Connors from Midnight's Edge After Dark, Midnight's Edge Espanol, Midnight's Mead Radio, Midnight's Edge Archives, Midnight's Edge in the morning, Midnight's Edge in the afternoon, Sunday Fun Day. What else do you do? Freaks and Geeks Karaoke, and I don't know. So many other things.
I think I was in St. Elsewhere for a season.
Okay, St. Elsewhere. And
there was that episode of 21 Jump Street.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
No, well, welcome everybody, and hello.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Lots of you popped in. We got Mockety in the chat, Keith Howard, D. Bud Martin, Cold Era, Mr. Dragon, our friend Eric Winberg, who says coffee and CultureCasino. I need coffee, to be honest with you. Cody Guy is here. Daniel Hall. Your Muslim uncle. Hail, my friend. Great to see you. Let's see. I already said D. Bud Martin. Oh, Keely Chow's here. What's up, Keely Chow? One man show. Good to see you, my friend. I hope things are going better for you. Awesome One is here. What's going on? Let's see. Oh, Memes is here. What's up, Memes? Good to see you, buddy. Angelus Draven, our resident vampire, is in the house. E. Clay Thompson says that the intro is not loud enough. I'm working on that. I'll kick it up a couple dBs. Cosmic Squirrel, good to see you, my friend. 6, how's it going? You remember the episode of 21 Jump Street that Tom was on? Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
At least somebody does. And yeah, the music, you got to turn it up, man. I can still hear out of my left ear.
Oh, dang it. I'm working on that. You know, everybody complains about my countdowns. They do. I'm gonna have to turn them down. I'm gonna make one for Scott that is, like deafening, and then I'm gonna make one that's like really,
it would
really
be nice
low.
if StreamYard would allow you to somehow kind of like adjust,
manage the volume.
Yeah, like that would be nice, But hey, what do I know?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just a lowly YouTuber.
Me too. I'm a tuber too. Well, I'm not like tubing. I'm a YouTuber.
You're tubing.
No, I'm not. You Josiah Fitch, it's good to see you. Olivia Nimakara says, wow, my internet is hot garbage today. Mine was this morning. Plus, dude, did you see me get spiked yesterday?
Yeah, I watched you when you got froze up or whatever.
Yeah, that was nuts, man. Everything went. Internet went, computer went, nothing, everything froze. Everything electronic just iced up. Insane. So, never had that happen before. Kind of odd. Ed Brewer's here. Valiant Renegade's here. Man, Valiant Renegade puts out a video. It's taking my whole business approach to thing, and he does good stuff. You're gonna make friends with Simu Liu here, buddy.
Simu,
yeah. Scott knows how to intro music, no doubt. Arwen Avalon is here. Good to see you.
Is he?
Yeah.
Simu.
Speaking of Simu, he went after some tubers.
Simu, did he? He went after all our friends, and now we got to yell at him. Am I the only one who remembers that Paul McCartney song?
I think it's awesome.
What's it all about? Simu. Simu.
To me, it sounded like initially you were saying Zimu, and I was like, I cried the Scientologists are going to be after us.
Well, it's Sea Moon.
Oh.
but his name is Simu, so it works for me.
Okay.
That's
All
how I
right.
remember his name.
As long as it's not like a space fantasy
Also,
thing.
one don't remember that Paul McCartney song. It's a good song. Sea Moon. C, the letter C, and then Moon.
Yeah.
Look it up. It's a good song.
All right.
What's it all about?
Eric Winberg sends us a traditional super sticker. Thank you very much for that, my friend. I do appreciate it. Always appreciate that kind of love. Hail to you.
Thin Skin Lou. Yeah, right. D. Bud Martin. Yeah.
Yeah, Thin Skin
That's a
Lou,
perfect
yeah.
segue into this. So, yeah, Mr. Simi Lou decided he was going to attack some of our friends yesterday.
Yeah. And you know what, Nikki D, you were 100% right on the money. Congratulations, you did good on the box office.
Yeah, you were right.
Yeah, and that's like I said, I'm happy to be wrong.
I'm trying to remember who had that outlandish, who made out of the predictions. Somebody made. I'm like, you're crazy. You think it's going to do that much? Who was it?
I don't remember.
No, but yeah, I know Nikki D made the one in the super chat, but somebody else on our group was like, are you so sure?
Somebody was under 30.
I
don't remember who that was.
Was that you?
No,
I say you and me. I think we're close together. You and I both said like in that 50 range.
Yeah, well, I kept adjusting.
I think I said 50 to 60. I think I said
I don't think it was going to make
40 to 50. I can't remember which.
Yeah. I was going to put it firmly in the 40s. By the end.
So you were on the lower end. I think I was a bit more on the upper end, but yeah.
But hey,
maybe it was Script who said it was going to be that low.
Don't know. But look, I mean, it's again, we're predicting based on previous performance.
We'll blame it on Script Doctor.
No, we won't. Script is
why not?
Because I like Script.
He's not awesome. Here.
Yeah, right. He can't defend himself. That's not cool.
Oh, God.
Whatever. Anyway, that 70s rock fans in the house. We got Valiant Renegade. He's looking forward to Simu coming after him. Look at this. Look at this. This was on Instagram. Does this guy not realize that he's going to have a flop?
Well, here's the thing. It is probably going to flop. But again, I stand by what I said yesterday. I feel like they screwed themselves, really. Because there's a ton of other things they could be boasting about more so.
Yeah.
But
I put my video out, after being on the semi roundtable performance thing that we had yesterday on Midnight's Edge, about the film, right? I was like, okay, well, I already recorded it. I recorded those thoughts right after I got back from the theater. I wanted to have them fresh in my mind. And, I'm going to stick with it. It wasn't a great film. It was an okay film. It wasn't a bad film. The reason I get pulled out of movies usually has to do with hitting a speed bump at 70 miles an hour, and that film did it more than a few times. And it didn't help that in a few scenes, especially in the fight scenes, they didn't bother to get rid of the wires and some of the wire work shots. So I'm like, come on.
Which is bizarre to me because they had, you're probably just about to say this because they had like an extra year to fix it.
Yeah. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, look at these guys. They're going after him. Simu, Xenu. See, that's what I thought he was saying too. Simu Liu. You know what? And the thing is he's perfectly nice. I mean, and here's the thing. You had Awkwafina react to him take his shirt off in a film and ogle him, and that's perfectly fine. If that happened the other direction, it's not fine.
No. I'd have probably been fine. Well, I don't know if I'd have wanted to see hers, but if it was somebody else.
Oh, Stephanie said it was me. Well, Steph, you know what? Nobody can blame you for having a low projection on the box office, sweetheart. By the way, I'm glad you went ahead and fired up your stream this morning at 9. So hopefully you got some traffic over there after the 6 minutes.
I do so many streams, I never remember which one I'm on when I'm talking about what.
Me too. Well, you and I
Congo.
Congo. Yeah, I like Script Doctor. What's up, Trots? Good to see you. Yeah, he can't defend himself, but he'll also never know. Well, yes, he will. He secretly watches everything that I do. He does. What's up, Biggles? I don't know if it was poorly made. There were a lot of sharp edits, cuts, in certain points. Man, I am so very sorry for you. My thoughts and prayers are with you, One Man Show. They truly are. I'm so sorry, man. But there has never been Asian representation in movies before Shang-Chi.
Never.
No.
Never.
No, only wait a minute. Didn't we just have like a Snake Eyes movie where they swapped to get Asian representation?
No, that didn't happen.
Okay. All right.
It wasn't a hit, so it didn't happen.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, so you wanted to talk about Hulu.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it could have been great. Absolutely. There was a lot of potential in the film. Let's do this because you know what? Let's just move on because we're not going to be here very long today. I've got way too much to try to take care of, and there really isn't a whole lot of news. I mean, Tom, was there a lot of news today? I didn't find a bunch. Other than this,
I haven't really looked. Let's see. Besides this, go ahead and start that. But yeah, I haven't really heard anything.
Yeah, there really isn't much. When I went through the 6 minutes,
the sad passing of Michael Williams, that was
that just is terrible. What 54, man, dude? I'm looking at that like real close. Like that speed sign is coming up on the highway real soon. Anyway, Hulu is now raising the price for both of its on-demand streaming tiers. Live service Disney bundle rates won't change. So if you get the bundle, you don't pay the boosted price. But guess what? That bundle price is about to go up too. You know that's coming. So we get to the end of October, close to November. They need to get a bump. They're going to have to overcome the APRU that's falling across the board for their services. Anyway, in a not terribly shocking development, Disney is raising its prices for Hulu, following other increases in recent months at Disney Plus and ESPN Plus. Effective October 8th, the basic ad-supported version of Hulu will go from $5.99 a month to $6.99, while the ad-free tier rises $1 to $12.99. Well, they both rose $1, silly. The changes conveyed to subscribers this morning do not affect the rates for the Disney bundle on Hulu's live TV service. It is the first update of Hulu's pricing since an interesting combo move in early 2019. When the monthly cost of the basic tier dropped $2 to $5.99. Of course, they were selling $6 worth of advertisements a month on top, and it doesn't matter. Anyway, advertising is an increasingly vital part of Hulu's strategy, having launched in 2007, far earlier than more recent ad-supported offerings like NBC Universal's Peacock or Warner Media's HBO Max with ads. Hulu has made steady progress in terms of ad revenue. Total ad revenue this year is expected to top $3 billion, according to eMarketer. Broadcast ad revenue, by comparison, is $3.26 billion in 2020. Disney, which is now more than halfway towards its 2024 subscriber goal, has not been shy about raising prices. As Netflix has shown, scale only increases pricing leverage. The prices for Disney Plus and ESPN Plus have increased by $1 in recent months. The Disney bundle also rose by $1 in March, and last December, a hefty $10 a month hike boosted the monthly price of Hulu Plus Live TV to $64.99. There you go. For Hulu, one reason for the increase in Disney's decision to add thousands of Bollywood titles and Hotstar originals to the platform. Well, actually, there's a deeper story to that, which we already covered about Hotstar, but doesn't matter. Hotstar stands alone. U.S. offering is slated to go dark sometime next year. There you go. They're getting rid of it. In its most recent fiscal quarter, which ended July 3, Disney reported almost 174 million total subscribers. What they didn't report is the drop in domestic subscribers, which dropped their ARPU. In December 2020, Disney is set an updated goal of attaining 300 million to 350 million total streaming subscribers by 2024. The company took full operational control of Hulu in 2019 after closing a $71.3 billion for most assets of the 21st Century Fox and then buying out Comcast's stake in the joint venture. But wait, there's more. The price for that buyout has gone up substantially. And Disney's going to have a one-time write-off that's going to be significant to pay off what the new valuation for Comcast stake is, because that doesn't pay out quite yet. And I don't remember what that date is, but VR probably knows. Vacation Friends last month turned into the best opening weekend for any Hulu film to date. Then it got promptly shat on. And a sequel is on the way. Maybe they'll talk more about racism, because apparently that's the only time you can have.
Is that a movie about swinging?
Not necessarily. It's about
Then I'm not interested.
It's about two couples.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it's not about swinging and it's about two couples, then what the fuck's the point?
I don't know. I know this.
I don't know.
It is what it is.
Nah, as far as Hulu goes, I mean, can't really shit on them. They've got their thing going for them. Disney might fuck it up for them, but outside of that, I mean, for the longest time, they've hung in there with Netflix. Their gimmick is they have, the new shows and stuff. So I don't know too many people who go to Hulu just to watch movies and shit. So
yeah. Oh, by the way, AEW's numbers are really good. They're pulling in 700,000 plus. And really well. So Snake Eyes never happened.
nope,
Yeah,
didn't happen.
I canceled Hulu 2 years ago. A lot of people did. Did find out that Arasaka Industrial Park can be entered early to minimal resistance. Did not know that. That's cool. That's a Cyberpunk 2077 game thing there, Tom. Sorry about that.
No idea.
I heard college football had the highest rating, better than NBA plus CF was triumphant. There you go. Triumph is the word of the day, guys. Jerry of Geeks and Gamers is on the real BBC on Neurotic. Well, there's where most of our audience is.
Who's Jerry?
It's Jeremy. It's now because they're making fun of his name now, so it's like Jeremy, Jerry. Yeah. So, if Hulu wasn't a favorite of family members of my account, I'd cancel this garbage. And that's the thing. And yes, R.I.P. Michael Williams. One man show, you got a group of humans that you can interact with right here. So, and you get a lot of support from these people. I know I do every day. The kicker for Prime, though, it comes as extra for another service. Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't think between Netflix and Prime anything's going to supplant those. Do you, Tom?
Well, I mean, HBO Max might be the one that surprises everybody, especially if Laszloff has his way with it.
Yeah, and I think he will.
It may be HBO Max and Amazon Prime are the one to beat. I mean, Netflix. Here's the thing with Netflix. I mean,
they're tailing off. To be honest,
I mean, I say, yeah, a lot of people have them, but they're noticing some churn. They don't have the type of shows they used to. The only real shows they've got to really bring people in now are Cobra Kai and Stranger Things, and I think Stranger Things is about run its course.
It ran its course in the second season. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, a lot of people are down for season 4, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, so unless I'm missing something that they have on there that's popular that I don't know about, then I mean, Netflix is just one of those things. They don't have the movie selection they used to outside of their original films and TV shows. I don't see them having much to bring people in. And we've read enough stories now, as we predicted, that would happen, that people would stream hop and they would, stick with one or two things as their mains, being like Amazon and like Disney or HBO Max, and then bop around to the rest. Because at this point, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, Amazon comes as a bonus to your free shipping, basically, right?
Right. I mean, well, that's the thing is that's why that became like the sleeper, because then all of a sudden people were like, oh shit, I can.
Tom, is it you or me that froze? Guys, is it me or Tom? Okay, it's Tom. I think we're about to lose Tom, kids. Oh, well. He'll be back. Pod Racing Palpatine. What's going on? Yeah, AEW is kind of, an up and coming wrestling promotion, guys. That thing's starting to become real. Yeah, there you go. Tom's back.
Yeah, my net's acting. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, no, I just kept talking. There's a lot going on in wrestling right now. I know a lot of people here don't probably follow that, but the promotion there at AEW is growing by leaps and bounds. I mean, the ratings for TV has really been picked up for them. So, and they did bring a lot of people over. You have CM Punk, Adam Cole, Daniel Bryan, and Ruby Riott. So, pretty cool. Everybody's saying hi to Lindsay. There's our buddy. What's up, John? You guys are killing it.
John.
Your video this morning was great. Good job, my man. You're like, they're saying, and that's the thing. If you want to talk about the whole box office thing with Shang Chi, they're really, touting a film that had the third worst opening in the history of the MCU.
Right. I mean, we could put an asterisk to it at the same time, but I guess that's the bigger question. Do you think it would have done much better had the world been normal?
Don't know. I don't know, to be honest with you, because I mean, there were markets where the theaters were full, and then there were markets where the theaters there were mostly empty. I want to gather together the market data for each individual market where the film performed and how it performed, because I think in the markets that may have been influenced by others, Los Angeles, Seattle, San Francisco, New York City, in those markets, those are probably where you had giant turnout for the film, right? Maybe I'm wrong, but I think market data is going to be important for this one. You know what I mean? And I've been studying. I've been studying the MPAA numbers for a while now, and the percentage of the Asian audience in film consumption hasn't changed very much in the last few years. It's about 6% of the total audience that go to a theatrical exhibition. So that also is essentially the rough demographic of the Asian population that we have in the United States.
Well, and part of the reason, we bring this up is, we looked into doing Midnights at Español because we looked at the demographics and we saw, like, it's pretty much broke down like a large portion is just plain white people.
Uh-huh.
Then the Latino community is the second largest community as far as entertainment goes, and then Black, and then the rest of them are kind of broke down into. They even, like, there's so many in the one, like the one demographics I always say, they usually clump all the ones into Asian. They don't even specifically spread them out.
Yeah, it's Asian and Pacific Islanders, AAPI.
Yeah.
And I think that does a disservice, but that it doesn't matter.
Plain old white people, just vanilla shit.
Yeah, and then you got but here's the cool thing: you are constantly having, as a percentage of population in the United States, overrepresentation at film consumption of the Latin audience, which is amazing. It's like 29, 30, 30%. Yeah. Well, again, that's why there's a word. It's called overrepresented. They are overrepresenting the consumption of film. But again, I mean, those I'm with Paulie on a lot of the stuff that he calls out when it comes to
Well, right, and I mean, that's the thing that bothers us most, and when we get into those conversations, because it's a very underrepresented market, especially when you're
been for a while.
Yeah, in an era now where they're like, they're all about representation and shit on screen. It's like, well, where's the true representation? Yeah. I guarantee you know a lot more Latino people in your life than what you see on TV.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and it's weird. And then but see, here's the weird thing. I mean, I grew up idolizing Edward James Olmos from seeing him on everything. I mean, you had Miami Vice, right? And Jimmy Smits. Jimmy Smits is. I mean, I've seen these actors that I've idolized for decades. That unfortunately, they were the standouts, and there wasn't a lot of other people out there in the world. I mean, that were represented in film. It's
Well,
always bothered me.
and when the
Always
argument
bothered me.
has to be made that La Bamba is probably the highest grossing Latino film, I mean, that's pretty bad, and especially considering it's not even starring a Latino.
Yeah,
So, I mean, that's something that, I mean, and don't get me wrong, Paulie and I talk about that movie all the time because we love it. But when Taylor Hackford brought that up on that stream, he's not 100% wrong. I mean, there could be arguments to be made for other films, but like I brought up, Dora the Explorer could technically count. But if you're looking at it in a certain way, kind of like we were arguing with the whole thing with Shang Chi, to get it back on that subject, is like this. Look, I get it. They're boasting all this shit about it being the biggest Labor Day opening of ever. Good for you. That's like boasting about beating up the special needs kid at school, right? Like you beat a record that was almost 15 years old of a movie that most people didn't like. So good for you. Instead of boasting about all these other things that, I mean, I'm kind of seeing a few more of the headlines getting there, but like still some of the points we brought up yesterday weren't brought up.
yeah,
Grand, they got the third lowest opening ever for a Marvel movie. That's great. The only time I finally saw something where they finally brought up something that was like, okay, there I can understand, and that's why they brought it up, is it had the best Labor Day
yeah,
ever for a movie. Now there's something to be proud of.
yeah.
That is something to be proud of. Now, to a point, I say that because notoriously, as we keep bringing up in culture, has pointed out, I'm sure 20 times over, Labor Day has never been a big weekend for movies. It just
No,
never has. And
no,
that's the other thing, is in a normal market, what would Shang-Chi be up against? What else would have come out right now had things been normal? We don't know that for sure.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's so many other films that would have been competing with. It still should have been competing
It
with the
might have been
tail end of,
competing with Ghostbusters for all we know, because originally Ghostbusters was supposed to come out mid-July.
and it was supposed to also have been competing with the tail end of Black Widow, right? I mean, the way
Well,
you don't think so?
Marvel's always been pretty good at staggering their movies just right.
Uh,
So I don't know if Black Widow, unless see, the thing is, here's the problem we have now, culture. There's the
mhm.
argument to be made now. If Black Widow was a good movie, then it probably would have had legs. That I will agree with. Because like look at like how Infinity War did and stuff like that. Like that I could see. But since the movie was shit, I don't think it would have done a whole lot better than it did. I think Black Widow would have petered out somewhere around 700 million.
Me too. I put it at 727. That's where I put it. 727 million. That's what I thought it would get. If
Yeah.
that's what I thought it would make. One man show. I am terribly sorry. My condolences, my friend. My heart, my prayers are with you and yours. I'm just, I don't know what else to say. You know.
Well, hopefully we can take your mind off things for a little bit, if
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. EVS is dissing anti woke, making cash off reaction at garbage meat. Yeah. Well, yeah.
EVS is going to EVS.
Yeah, bounding into comics. I love Uncle E.
Yeah, I
Uncle E's
love him
Uncle
too,
E.
but he's going to do
Yeah,
what he's going to do, right? I mean,
bounding into comics. By the way, they released a new Matrix teaser. It looks pretty interesting. That's cool,
I didn't see
John.
the teaser, but it's funny you brought that up because after we were done talking about this, I do have this story.
Ooh.
We have our first look at John Wick in Matrix 4.
Oh, I'm so excited. So excited.
There you go. It's in the bottom if you want to bring
I
it up.
see it. I got it. Boom.
As I
Check
said,
it
John
out.
Wick is in Matrix 4. That was my
It
first reaction. I'm like,
it is. Yeah, I like it. Boy, you know what? John Wick is the superior franchise. And fight me.
I'm not, don't have to.
Yeah. All right. I'm sorry. The first film was groundbreaking beauty, right? It was one of the first films I'd ever had an early screener on. I had seen this film
John
4 times.
Matrix or Neo Wick. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. I'd seen the original Matrix film a month. I'd seen it 4 times a month before it was released, and still went to the theater 3 or 4 times to see it because it was that
I managed
good.
not to see it till video, believe it or not. And I
No
managed to have
way.
and not only that, I managed to have the secret kept. Like I just had no interest in the film because you got to remember this came out at the same time as The Spy Who Shagged Me and Episode 1. So I was wrapped up into those 2 films. The Matrix wasn't even on my radar at all.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was a Keanu fan, but at that point, you guys got to remember this was post Speed, so he had not made a good movie since Speed.
Oh, wait a minute. Really?
I'm trying to remember. Did he do anything after Speed that was any good between that and The Matrix?
When was Point Break?
That was before that.
Okay. And then he was in Parenthood. He was in
That was before that. Bill and Ted was all before that.
Yeah, that was before.
Because Speed was like 94.
He did something else. I'm trying to remember what it was.
He did that movie with Morgan Freeman that flopped because they shot that in Madison.
Chain Reaction or something?
Yeah, Chain Reaction. Yep, they shot that in Madison and Baraboo, I think it was. And that's the only reason I remember that movie, and it flopped. Because like every movie that's ever been shot in Wisconsin has flopped. There was the Robert Redford and Julia Roberts movie that flopped, and then there was the Johnny Depp movie that was shot in Baraboo that flopped. The Public Enemy one or whatever it was called. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, oh yeah, he did do Devil's Advocate in between there, but that was kind of more of a Al Pacino.
I love that film.
I do too, but that's more of an Al Pacino movie than it is a Keanu movie. Let's be real.
I was
Al Pacino's that last 20 minutes is all Pacino.
Oh, it's all Pacino. And they're,
he's just all out there just hamming it the fuck up.
Yeah.
6, I don't think it was shot in Wisconsin, even though bits of it do take place in Wisconsin.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if they actually made it there. Hey, Saggy, how you doing?
Saggy's here. Hi,
Saggy.
Saggy.
That's a good point. 6. There's bits and pieces that take place in Wisconsin, but the restaurant that they eat in the movie that's supposed to be in Wisconsin is nowhere near Wisconsin. I don't know where that restaurant is or what that restaurant is, because they have it on the DVD case and it's some chicken house. I'm like, there's nothing like that anywhere near Toma. Like, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And Tommy and Chris should know. Chris was born in Madison, right? Like, he should know the area, but I think they shot down by like Chicago and Milwaukee, if anything. But I don't even know if they did at all.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'm looking forward to this, but I'm looking forward to the man who just joined us. Welcome,
hey,
Andre.
Andre, what do you think of John Wick being in Matrix 4?
Well, greetings and thanks for having me. Always a pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
And I think it's I get that John Wick is like a huge hit, and Keanu Reeves is John Wick now, and he's no longer Neo. But I don't think that's a very good reason to convert Neo into John Wick.
Yeah, I think he should have done something with his look differently.
Yeah, I think I would have liked them to separate the two. I mean, like, John Wick is John Wick. Like, there's no need to really merge the two. If I showed you this
picture, what movie would you say this is from?
John Wick.
Exactly.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Unless there's like some real weirdo twist that's never going to happen because it's different studios and everything, where like John Wick really is like a new part of the Matrix or something like that. I mean, that would be like a mind trip. But
now the funny place to do that would have been in Bill and Ted, where they had an alternate dimension where Ted actually became John Wick. That would have been funny. But I guess there's a teaser trailer out too. I haven't seen that yet though.
I'm going to have to see it. Yeah, John brought that to our attention. I'm pretty stoked about that, I have to say.
I'd say show it because Warner can sometimes be pretty lenient, but I don't want to chance it on it.
Yeah. Let's see.
It's not worth risking it.
Yeah, and I have zero faith in the Matrix 4. I think it'll do okay, but I mean, I don't think it's going to be any good.
Here's the interesting thing. What about they could make a sequel to Devil's Advocate? It was left open.
He's the son of the devil.
I know.
Oh shit! Spoilers for a 20-year-old movie.
It's more than 20 years, but yeah, I mean, but you literally could make a sequel, and you could still have Pacino and Keanu in it again. It would be great. I don't think you get that girl back, but who knows? Yeah, this is the best line ever. Whoa. Yeah, he has to say that once in every film. The only films I don't think he said it in is the John Wick films. I don't think he said his signature, whoa.
Well, I think he got to a point where he said he didn't want to do it no more, and he tries probably to find other things to say.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. There just wasn't a lot of news today.
No, not much. But yeah. Andre, so like they keep piling on the money onto Shang Chi. What do you think about this?
Yeah.
Well, they're just fortifying the box office. That's all I have to say about that.
All right.
Yeah. It just doesn't fit with my. Well, I'm sure loads of people did go see it. I'm sure loads of people enjoyed it, and good for them. But in my life, I don't know a single person that went to see it or that even wants to see it, including of my hardcore comic book friends.
That's the thing, is I still have yet to meet anybody outside of YouTube who has seen the movie. Not one person yet, still. And I've asked everybody I know that I've talked to, and I'm like, oh, did you go see Shang Chi? No. Or what's that? That's the other one I get, is what's that?
Well,
and of course it could be like this is just like our individual experiences, and experience may vary and everything. It's like weird that so many have like those experiences.
Well, yes, because we all can exchange those anecdotal, stories with one another. But it made 14 million yesterday domestically, and it didn't have the fall off I was expecting day to day. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. The question is, how long is it going to hang on to 4,300 theaters in North America before those numbers come down? I think I think those numbers are going to come down.
Well,
next weekend.
As you were bringing up before the show, there's a lot of movies that have been pushed up now, like most notably probably Venom 2, but I don't know what else is coming up in the next 2 weeks here that this movie's going to have to compete with.
Yeah.
Oh, be quiet, 6.
Brett Cohen says, I watched the teaser a while ago. It's angling for member berries at 703. Oh, I see. A few good visual shots, but not really making me want more.
But
wow.
So what is the hook that's going to bring you into this movie? Because let's be real, the first 2 sequels, the hook was, oh, we're going to get to see some more, cool special effects, right?
Yeah.
Because at that point, those were new special. We had never seen shit like that before.
Right.
Now it's old hat. Like, what are they going to bring to the table now to get us in the theater?
That's a good question. I don't know. Everybody uses bullet time now.
That's what I'm saying. There's nothing new for them to really bring to the table in this.
Well, here's like the thing, though. We haven't seen the trailer yet. Maybe the trailer will blow people away, like the original Matrix did back in 1999. It could happen. I wouldn't put money on it, but it could happen. I don't see how, but yeah. Personally, I'm not even excited in the slightest, but that's me.
Yeah, neither am I.
I mean, I was filled up on my need for more Matrix after I saw the second movie back in 2003.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going back to this as someone who thought the franchise was good originally, until I got through the second and third films. I thought it was going to be great, and the second film was disappointing, and the third film was more disappointing. And at the end, both of the main characters that are returning for Matrix 4 died. I mean, actually died, not like like robot died.
Okay, we got a trailer for the trailer.
I don't even remember.
Shit. We just got a trailer for the trailer, and it don't show shit. I just watched it, like right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to show it or no?
That's up to you. It's your channel.
I would not recommend it.
Okay, then I'm not gonna.
It's literally a trailer for it. It's in one of those trailer for a trailer, so we're not going to see it for 2 days.
All right. Yeah, 1989 was a good year. VR is a really cool way to watch films, guys.
But how are they going to do that? Like, that's the thing, is like that was the whole thing that Cameron wanted to do for the next Avatar, and I just don't see that happening because there's no way.
I've seen setups for it. They have kind of a setup for it in a few places in Vegas, where you can experience kind of, in these fancy chairs and everything, the sensation of wearing the headset, and the chair moves in the whole 9 yards while you're sitting in it. I would imagine that would be all right. I don't know. As somebody who, has a couple of different VR products. I have enjoyed watching a film, in VR. It can be done. I've enjoyed playing video games in VR. It's also kind of cool. But there, for a lot of people, it's going to be too overwhelming. They're going to be visually overstimulated. It does cause headaches and illness for some. Lots of stuff like that. Lasso Truth asked a question about Shang Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and it's a good one. Could it have done better if it was shown in China?
Well, worldwide, yeah, obviously it could have done better. I don't think it would have done that much better, though, because the CCP disapproved of it. And if the CCP disapproves, you're going to get a low social credit score or social score just for going to see it.
Yep.
And I mean, you see, like, even some of the actors in it are, like, apparently, I've read, facing repercussions from it.
Mm-hmm.
Losing, like, later opportunities, in a sense, being cancelled.
Yeah. It's going to get. It's hopefully we don't turn into that in the other Western countries around the world. But anyway. I don't want to dive into politics. It's just
unfortunately, you have, like, some forces in academia that are trying their best everywhere.
Yeah. The Matrix cartoon was cool, I have to admit. Yeah, the Animatrix. That's what that was called. It was an excellent anime style presentation. Animation was very good. There's 2 teaser trailers depending on whether you hit red or blue pill. Oh, cool, John. I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah, I'm watching the red pill right now.
Okay. Yeah. VR is motion sickness for a lot of people. Absolutely.
I noticed that with Oculus Rift, like, it was impressive as hell to watch, but I noticed there that if I have to do this 1 more hour, it's not going to go down too well, or rather come up too well.
Yeah, some people it's a challenge. You can get you can get a pro style headset from HTC. That's very, very good. The new headset from Steam, called the Index, has a better, higher resolution OLED screen in front of your eyes. You have 1 screen for each eyeball at a higher resolution. So the honeycomb effect is removed, which also can reduce the shutter fatigue that causes nausea and other problems for people and headaches. There's a lot in there that the newer headsets do better. I just anticipating them getting better and better. But no, you absolutely can be very uncomfortable very quickly in one of those things. And again, I mean, you're talking to a guy who spent 4 to 6 hours on in a session, playing a game on one. So it is what it is. Let's see. Yeah, the thing that's happening in China when it comes to reinforcing masculinity, that's not in the program here in the States, so, and in other places around the world. So,
a lot of member berries.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. What do you got here? Is it really true that films shot in Wisconsin don't do well in the box office?
So far.
Oh.
I don't know what the deal is, but I have not run across one yet that has been a hit.
Trots, that's a good question. Says, how do these VR sets work with those with glasses? Actually, pretty well. I'm able to wear my glasses with them, but believe it or not, taking my glasses off and changing the depth of field and eye positioning can actually make it so I don't need the glasses. So
I don't know if I have that option with the Sony one, but I don't have issues with the Sony one so much either.
Yeah,
but I haven't used it in a while.
Yeah.
I just haven't had the time though either. It was fun. But yeah.
Yeah, but I really, I don't know. I mean, like, just for fun, we'll throw these box office numbers on here because I do, since it's us talking about it, I do want to, take a look at it super quick. So there's the 90 million domestic that included yesterday's numbers, right? And internationally 56, so it's 146.2. It's overperforming expectations according to the numbers, which To be fair, they do a fairly good job with that. This is the band that they expected the film to perform within, and it's exceeding the band right now. But the question is legs, and I think we're going to start to see the legs fall off.
Well, here's the thing that makes me wonder too is like, okay, let's play devil's advocate for a moment. Did they overkill this thing? Like, that's what I'm wondering here. Like, did they try to make up for the fact that they thought it wasn't going to do well and it did well enough, and now it's like, oh shit, like it's making it look like it's doing way too well? Because then, like you said, the next weekend drop off is going to be like probably one of the biggest in history, I bet.
Yeah. I mean, we already had a 67-68% fall off with Black Widow weekend for weekend. You know, I anticipate this is going to have that and maybe worse. I think it might be 70, 71, 72% fall off. But hey, you know,
what if it goes below 80% fall off?
That would be unbelievable.
That's what I'm saying here. Like, let's play devil's advocate for a moment. Let's say that happens because Disney padded these numbers, and they were like, "Fuck, we didn't realize it was going to play this well."
Well, let's just say that if they padded these numbers, wouldn't they have something left on the padding budget for next week?
I don't know.
I mean,
they didn't for Black Widow.
Yeah, this film was all about it. Was all about the open. I mean, that's what I mean. Yeah. Every single effort was towards this thing opening big. Yeah, it needs 300 million more in legs. It does. That's the thing I don't think most people understand. Based on what Script Doctor said, day before yesterday, this thing has had an unprecedented M&P.
Well, and here's where Chapek could make an argument is like, yeah, if we would have opened it on Disney Plus as well, considering these numbers were similar to Black Widow's theatrical numbers, he probably can now make the argument that they would have made $50-60 million more by doing that.
Well,
get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know if it could have, though.
I think it would have done just as well. Because I don't think there was that much interest in Black Widow.
Well, like you said, I mean, I feel like this thing is going to be break-even territory.
When it's all said and done, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so we look at the global. Look at the global again. The global right now, 146.2.
Because let's talk about this for a minute, though, seriously, because since Andre's here.
Yeah.
What was the goal of this film if you're Kevin Feige? It has to gross more in theaters than Black Widow did.
Yes. For him, that is the absolute goal. It's a complete disaster for him. If Black Widow in any way beats this movie, it has to do better, or it has to be in the same ballpark. Because if Black Widow does better, you can always argue that Shang Chi is a new and untested character, whereas Black Widow is a legacy character. You always have that argument. So if the two are somewhat evenly matched, then that argument kicks in to make up the difference. However, what he would prefer is for this movie to completely blow Black Widow out of the water, because that's going to give him more power. It's going to contribute towards getting rid of Chapek and all that good stuff.
See, and yeah, that's the thing that I don't think any of these guys are taking into consideration, or even some people in our own circle.
Yeah.
Is that, yeah, they didn't have that many people buy Black Widow on Disney Plus. They had about roughly 2 million people buy it, is what we figured, right?
Right.
But they still pocketed more money.
Way more money. Yeah.
Doing it that way than they did the other way. So this is why, and this is why when people ask this stuff, and this is why we keep telling you, yeah, theaters are going to be around for a while because it's not structured yet to work. But this is why they want to move over to streaming, because that's money directly right into their pocket. They don't have to deal with any other bullshit. The only bullshit they have to deal with is overhead for the servers. That's it.
Yeah. And
other than that, it's free money in their pocket, basically.
Yeah. And wow, VR, thanks for coming in with this. So that is precisely one of the big fails of Shang-Chi. It didn't bring one dime of otherwise Disney Plus revenue as BW got into the theaters on the same weekend when college football was packed. Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
See, and that's where I don't see how this movie because there was record people at some of the parks, because there was people posting videos of the long waits at some of the rides and shit.
Yep.
We
Yep.
had like record numbers for pandemic weekends as far as sports go.
Well,
Where the fuck were all these people to go see this movie?
Sold out crowds at professional events, sold out crowds at college events, and and again, this was the big, last ditch, travel weekend for Americans to get out and do the thing before they had to get back to the regular shuffle of their work lives,
Yeah. Yeah. And John, we were just doing the fuzzy math, but yeah, that's where we figured. Yeah. $60 or 60 million at $30 a pop. So yeah, roughly about 2 million people give or take a few. But still, just with that minimal amount, they made so much more money off that $30 a pop than they got per person at theaters.
Their digital pass-through money that they had to disclose for the Black Widow arbitration case at that point in time was over $150 million for Black Widow. So they're going to lose. ScarJo's going to lose arbitration. There's no way.
No, because that's what they were trying to tell her. They were probably going to make a deal with her on the other end.
Yeah,
but I think she jumped the gun because she was pressured.
Because with all the money, I think that film's sitting at film's sitting at 520 to 540 right now.
So it'll barely break even.
Yeah, I think it'll break even. Yep.
Because that one was expensive. That was $200 million movie.
Yeah, and dude, all these stadiums were sold out. I'm just telling you.
That's where I don't understand where all these people are going to see this movie.
Well, like you said, I think there's 5 markets. I just want a market by market breakdown. I'm gonna have to go looking for it, but I think we'll see. It's going to be Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle, New York City, and is it Portland? It's like those are going to be the markets I would want to see what the turnout was, because those are the places. I mean, Paulie's anecdotal story was his place is sold out, right? And my anecdotal story is I was there on a Friday at a decent time, and
now that goes along with what you're saying. Now I was watching BBC earlier with Gary and them guys, and Gary pointed out like the theater he went to, like the one was sold out, but the other one, like a few blocks away, had like nobody going to it.
Yeah.
So again, I think you're right. I think again, I'm not saying that they're lying. I'm not even saying that they padded their numbers, right? Like we don't know that, but there is enough circumstantial evidence now between the last few releases to believe that it's possible that they did. Yep. And again, I'm sitting here with like the same thing with Black Widow, pounding my head on the table going, why did you shortchange yourself on this thing? Like, I don't understand.
I actually have a question here. So this first Tuesday number, do you think, since our first Monday number, which was a holiday, was 14.5 million with no sports, right? Other than Monday Night Football. On this first Tuesday, do you think this number is 5 million?
Oh, I don't think it's going to. It maybe do 5 million. I'd be surprised.
If it does, it's tied with Black Widow. Sorry, this is the stuff I pay attention to. So we're going to watch these numbers, and we're going to see how this thing falls when we get around to Sunday.
No, Feige, he succeeded already, right? It just barely made a little bit more in the box office in its first weekend than Black Widow did, if you take away the Disney Plus numbers.
Well, yeah, exactly. Feige didn't succeed then.
He succeeded enough. It made $10 million more than what Black Widow did its opening weekend. That's enough for him to make the argument. Oh, 5, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's enough for him to make that argument. That's all he needed, right? Like that's the whole point here is if Cameron and Andre and Script are right about this, that's all Kevin Feige had to do to prove his point, right?
I don't know. Here's the thing, Tom. Again, we will know more and better on next Sunday.
Well, no, you're right, and that's the thing is it's not going to matter to them after this. It's going to matter to us.
It's going to matter to Chapek. Again,
it will matter to him, but it doesn't matter. Feige already won the war in the media's eye, is my point, because it made more money in the box office than Black Widow did.
Well, to be clear, the media largely isn't even commenting also on it as if it is a war. What you mean is that Feige won this battle.
Yes.
The war is a different matter.
Yes, thank you. Sorry. Well, because there's still Eternals on the table yet. Let's be real.
Oh, and VR comes here essentially saying they got the Australian tax credit for 50 million, which is why the budget looks at 150.
Well, we don't even know the actual budget. They didn't report the budget on this one.
Yeah, they seem to think, or VR seems to think here or indicate that it was a $200 million budget. So,
and that could be.
Six says, I checked the second largest city in my state for their sales during the 7 o'clock shows on Saturday night, and I did around 6:30. The prime seats, middle rows, were halfway filled, and that's kind of what most of them are. So,
well, I had 16 people in my showing.
What's wrong with my audio?
I think you sound okay.
She says Andre sounds like God compared to Tom's audio.
Well, Andre always sounds like God.
Well, I understand that, but I'm wondering if there's something wrong with my mic.
Andre has the voice of God.
That's true.
Well, thank you, but I don't hear anything wrong with Tom's voice or Mike either.
Yeah.
I can go
the numbers.
stereo.
Yeah, the numbers does say it's $150 million budget. Again, that's I don't know. Sometimes they pull it out of the guesses. Sometimes it's right on the money. It's hard to say. So who knows?
Yeah, they have an estimate is all I know of, because I was looking yesterday for it.
Ooh, pizza sounds good. One man show.
Little Seizure.
Oh,
I wish we had more pizza options where I'm at. Oh, okay. Well, you made me think something's wrong. So there you go.
Everybody is. You guys sound fine. All right.
Well, now I'm in stereo. So there.
Tax credit and budget story. Thank you for the link, VR. Dude, this is why we love VR. VR's busy.
Well, the other bit of news that people were kind of talking about was Dune, actually, since we have Andre here. I don't know if you want to get into that at all.
Yes, please. Oh, yeah. I don't have anything pulled up for that.
I don't know if Andre got a chance to watch that behind the scenes thing yet, but
no, I haven't. I'm seeing the movie next week, so I don't.
Well, that's right. You wanted to
avoid footage and everything, yeah.
But yeah, it's actually I kind of like that little featurette. It does a pretty good job of kind of letting you know who the characters are. But the bigger problem was more so what's her face, the main star who plays Jessica. What's her name? I can't think of her name now. Anyway, she was kind of talking shit on
David Lynch, or
no. She was talking about how the characters were written. Here, I'll bring up the interview thing. I think the girls had it in the Toxic Femme thing here. I was curious to get your take on this. It doesn't show stuff from the movie, but it's an interview.
Okay, this should be good.
Yeah. I can't think of her name. What the fuck's the main actress's name in the movie?
I've forgotten.
Who's playing, yeah. Where the hell is it? Either way, I did share it on my profile. I'll find it.
All right, cool.
Just give me 2 seconds.
Trying to find what VR sent me. So that's great, YouTube. Jessica Chastain?
Is that who it is? No.
No, it's not. No. It's not her.
No.
Zendaya?
Nerd Cookies shared it.
No, not Zendaya. She who plays the mother.
Ferguson?
Yes, Ferguson.
Is that who it is? Okay.
Yes, that's who it is.
Okay, here we go.
Thank you, Tina. You're awesome. And here's the thing. Here we go. Can I add this now or no?
Yeah, no, you're good.
Okay. Oh, wow.
As an audience, we tend to flip out anytime we ever get a well-written, strong, beautifully developed female character, because unfortunately it just doesn't happen as frequently as it should. I'm sort of curious, what does it say about Frank Herbert and Dune that he did something in the 60s that we still can't manage to do as often as we should today?
I know. I mean, praise him. It's incredible. At the same time, it's not even close to what equality should be, funnily enough. Yet we praise the fact that he was close, and that's good enough. Well, monsieur, it's not.
As an audience, we tend to flip out anytime we ever get.
Okay. So, and this actually was one of the reasons that prompted me to tell you what I did yesterday, Andre, where you're like, I'm already working on it. So I don't want to give too much of it away. But so, yeah, what's your take on her response there to that?
Well, standard woke marketing. History began in 2016. And before then, there was like some weird prehistory or something that no one really remembers. And all women are enslaved, and there's never been any female representation. All of those other super woke movies that we're going to break the glass ceiling. None of those ever happened. This is the first. And even the source material here, it came close, but it wasn't quite good enough. And you kind of like see who this is for. And the thing is, if you just look at, I wouldn't pay too much attention to Rebecca Ferguson here. Look at the interviewer. Listen to the questions that he's asking. He's setting this up. This is all planned. This is all staged and scripted.
Yep.
This is all woke marketing deluxe.
Yep.
Well, yeah, you're right, John. And I also saw, who was it? Trots. Also, yeah, he replied to my tweet saying that she never even read the books. So I'm not surprised. But yeah, I don't know if you want to kind of give partially what that editorial will be about, because I think that's an interesting take, because I was thinking the same goddamn thing when I'm reading all these reviews coming out, because the reviews for this are kind of harsh.
Well, some of them are, and those
that's why I say kind of harsh.
Yeah, and those that are, what I see so far is that the reviews that are really positive and loving this, they are the ones that judge the movie on its own merits as a movie. The harsh ones, and especially the harshest one of all, which was IndieWire's, they don't really say too much about the merits of the movie. It's all about the message and the problematic white savior and all of those things. And I think that's a big part of the reason why this movie has had such woke marketing from day one. It's trying to appease the very people that they know is going to come gunning for it.
Which is exactly what you predicted.
Yeah, exactly.
And not only that, I think it's funny how, like I said, I don't know how deep we want to get into this here, but like, I just brought up to you and you're like, yeah, I was thinking the same fucking thing about how this story basically mirrors basically exactly what Hollywood is trying to do right now. And I think the reason they dislike the movie is because Jessica's answer to them is, go fuck yourselves. I'm putting a white male in this. When they're demanding that she put a female in the place. You know what I mean? So it's almost kind of, I don't know if the word's ironic, coincidental maybe, but I wonder if this is going to be like the playing field for a lot of this woke business as we get near the end of this year here, because we're seeing a lot of shit ramp up here. We've had like the Me Too and Time's Up movement facing a lot of shit now.
Yeah, Time's Up is,
you know, the BLM stuff from earlier this year. A lot of these things are starting to erode. What happens if we get near the end of this year and this movie's a big fucking hit? And everybody's like, yeah, and it has a white male at the lead. Not only that, he's basically set up as a white savior, even though you and I and most people who know the story knows where it goes. That's not the point. The people that are doing these reviews don't know that.
Nope. Of course not. I mean, they're entertainment journalists. You can't expect them to have read Dune and understand it.
But yeah, I just think it's, I like, again, I don't know if the word is ironic or if it's just coincidental that the story itself is almost like a Hollywood studio telling you that you have to put a strong female lead in this thing. And she's like, no, fuck you. I'm having a boy.
Yeah. That is the irony right there.
And I think that's why these guys are giving it such bad reviews. Entertainment Weekly was another one that gave it a bad review.
Variety pounded it.
Yeah.
And it's all for the same reason, and it's just that. That's why.
All right. I just, I'm taking your word for it, Andre. I trust you that they aren't going to destroy something that I love.
To be clear, I haven't seen the movie, but I have read the script, and that on the script, there's nothing to worry about.
Okay,
I would say that.
I trust you.
And going by Denny's earlier films, he's not somebody who seems to like trend towards that kind of shit, right?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even really seem like, even though I was not a huge fan of both of his other films, they look great. But like, I don't remember being any overly woke bullshit in them.
No, because there wasn't any.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think they definitely want a second film. And here's the thing: if if this isn't, if I can actually say at the end of the day after I watch this in the theater, because I will go see this in the theater, guys, that it's not. I will go to the town square and yell out loud that this is not a woke film and you should see it. And
I'm
that's what I want to say.
Either IMAX or in 3D, or better yet, 3D IMAX.
I'm gonna go see it in IMAX. I don't know about 3D.
Well,
I'll see it in IMAX.
Is it possible to see in 3D even? Isn't 3D like dead even in theaters?
No, they're still doing it. Like I could go see Shang Chi in 3D.
Oh, really? Okay.
But I can't see it in 3D IMAX. I can either see it in IMAX or just regular 3D. So I have to make the choice, kind of thing. So yeah, they're still doing it to a point. Even Wonder Woman got released in 3D, even though it was even got a release on 3D Blu-ray, which is weird. But hey, I wasn't complaining. I guess I just hated the movie. It's like, well, would have been better if it was a better movie, you know, like then at least have been a good reason to have a 3D Blu-ray of it. But no.
But hey, if you're a fan of 3D at this point, I guess you'll take what you get.
Exactly. Like it was like, oh well, you know, at least Warner Brothers is still making the effort, you know. But that tells me they didn't do one for Mortal Kombat, so Mortal Kombat must not have got converted. They didn't do one for the Snyder Cut, so that's surprising considering didn't they release that theatrical in some other countries?
They did, yeah. And
see, a lot of other countries are still into 3D. Like Japan and some other markets are really still into 3D.
Yeah, I don't know. I will see this in IMAX most likely as soon as I possibly can when it comes out. And again, I mean, my thoughts will be out of the same thing I did with Shang-Chi. I will race back to the house. I will sit down in the studio and I will spill all that I have to say, and that will be that. But I want it to be good. Dune's one of those properties that I absolutely want to be good. There isn't any more to that conversation, is there, Tom?
Other than the newer trailers I've been seeing, they should have released those earlier. Like the other ones were more tone poetic kind of trailers that we saw so far. Right. The newest trailer that was I think it was either a Japanese trailer or something like that, or Korean trailer or something. I don't know. It was online, and they used a lot of the same footage in the behind the scenes featurette that I was talking about. So there really hasn't been much new footage released, but what we have seen now, because that footage shows a lot more of the action and a lot more of the ships and stuff. So you get to, there's some great shots in that look really good for CGI, like the ship stuff and all that. So like, I'm looking forward to it more so like than I was before, because the other trailers didn't really they gave us an idea, but like now I've gotten to see some of the action in action, and I've gotten to see some of the ships in action. And, you know, that's the thing I'm not too worried about with Villeneuve, or how you say his name is Villeneuve. He's really good with CGI. He knows how to use it. That's one thing I'm not too worried about. So I know the special effects in this are going to look amazing.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. The sandworm looked incredible in the trailer that I saw.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And again, I mean, there were some good trailers that played before Shang-Chi, so we'll see. Are theaters using dimmer settings on their projectors for emptier showings for power saving? Shang-Chi was at half brightness.
That wouldn't be surprising. That's why I don't like to go to theaters anymore. Wow. I mean, of all the shit that people bitch about, that's the reason I don't like to go, is because I'm not seeing a real movie anymore. I feel like I can get a better experience at home.
Yeah, the fight scene from the movie looks amazing, and they
had shots from that too. Yeah,
and they did a really good job with the vibra dagger things. I don't know what they're called, I forget, but it looked really cool. That combat was amazing.
Anybody who's on the fence about this movie, check out that behind the scenes. It's like a little 5-minute featurette. It's got a lot more footage in it than the other trailers, and it gives you a little bit of a breakdown of each of the characters. You get to see a lot more of Baron Harkonnen, and it sold me even more than I already was sold.
Yeah, and Harkonnen, when he floats up in the trailer, I'm like, okay, sign me up for this. I'm really pumped up. My
favorite part is he's sitting there in the mud, and he's like, "What do we do about the Fremen? Kill them all!" And he just sinks right in. It's like, perfect casting in this. Yes.
Yeah, apparently VR is going to go out and see it too. Take my money, he says. So there you go.
When is a gift not a gift? That was a great line.
Oh,
is that line from the book even?
She'll comment as though I can't remember. It's been such a while since
I was asking Andre, but
I had to go out for a second there. What was the question?
The line
Well,
from the
Bautista's,
yeah.
it's in the scene. Bautista's character, I can't remember his name, but he's the one brute guy or whatever. And he's like, why are you giving them all this or something like that? And he's like, when is a gift not a gift? Just the way he says it was just perfect. You know, he's just setting up the whole idea that, you know, he's going to, because then he's like, then what do we do about the Fremen? And he's like, kill them all.
Yeah. Proper Harkonnen. Yeah, I'm really excited about the Harkonnens in the movie. I think they're going to be great.
Yeah, that's the most we've gotten to see of him. So I was like, yeah.
It's one of those things I'm very excited about. But since I don't think we have any more news, guys, I think we're going to be wrapping soon.
Yeah,
so.
I think we've covered most of the main stuff. Other than, you know, like I said, Michael Williams, that was just wow.
I know, man. I'm like go over all the roles that I've seen him in, right? And you know, for me, of course, I really enjoyed The Wire, right? But because it just Omar was such a cool character. But there was so much more that he was an incredible character actor, and
wasn't he just in one of the Marvel movies too? I'm trying to remember now.
He was rumored to be, but I don't think he's actually been in a Marvel movie.
I thought he was in one.
Well, he was just in that show Lovecraft Country.
And there's something I just watched he was in too. God
he's been in a ton of stuff. So it's just a bummer.
I know that.
He was in Lovecraft Country.
Gone Baby Gone. He was in
well, yeah, Boardwalk Empire. Thank you, One Man Show. Yeah, it was great in that.
Yeah,
that's Buscemi was good in that. God, what? Jeez.
What other movie was it I just watched with him in? Like just recently too.
Been in a lot of stuff.
He was in Superfly. He was in, oh, that's right. He was in Ghostbusters. I forgot about that. He was that one agent. God, he was in a ton of shit. Holy crap. Well, I knew he was in a lot of stuff, but man, I don't know. There was some I just watched recently with him in it too, and I can't remember what it was now.
I think I rewatched The Wire like once a year.
He was in The Incredible Hulk. Yeah, I knew he was in one of them.
I think I rewatched though,
but he was barely in it.
All right. Well, on that note,
that wasn't the one I was thinking of though. But yeah, no, there's something else I just watched recently. I can't remember what it was. He was also in like shit like The Sopranos. He made an appearance. Law and Order. Shit.
Yeah.
Of course, I remember him most probably from Gone Baby Gone and gosh, he even did a voice in Aqua Teen Hunger 4.
I didn't know that.
RoboCop. That's what he was in.
And
that's what he was in. Yes.
I think the thing that I think that the sad thing is that it was drug related, according to the
That's
early
what it sounds
report,
like. Unfortunately, but
tired of that. Lots of stuff getting laced with fentanyl. So,
well, yeah, there was that whole deal. I told Andre a little bit about that. Like, it's not our domain, but it was like they scrubbed some of that shit yesterday. There's some shit that went down, and yeah, there was a comedian that passed away, and then there was another actress from The Office that she managed to be okay, I guess, but. Like somebody's publicist ran in real quick because I told Andre like in a matter of minutes, like it went from being on the main page to just being gone. I had to go to my history to get to it. Yep. So it's like, okay, somebody's publicist acted real quick.
Yeah. Well, on that note, Andre, thank you very much for joining us once again today.
Thanks for having me.
I hope that that's not related to the same thing, though.
I hope not. But yeah, and Tom, thank you as always. Do you gentlemen have anything to promote? I know there's a lot coming up tonight.
Well, we got Midnight's Edge After Dark, of course. We got Midnight's Edge in the morning tomorrow, where we're going to have a special guest with us. We're going to have back again one of our favorites, of course. Chris Gore will be there. For a limited time, but he will be with us. And of course, I'm sure like Script and a few others might pop in as well, all depending on who's available. And maybe even you'll be there.
So if I am, it'll be from the airport. I'm not sure.
That's right. You're going to be busy. So,
but I just want to say
you'll be there in spirit.
I will. I will send my if I want to do that, what do you call it? Doctor Strange thing where I can just cast out of my body and
project yourself, awesome. Astral projection.
Yeah, astral projection. Yeah, that.
Well, if you could do that, it would be far better. Like open a portal and teleport yourself. But
no, Cold Era. That was Al Gore. That was Al Gore, but close.
Yeah, but anyway, you guys are the best. I do appreciate it. Everybody, I'm going to end the show the way I always do. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time.
And by the way, what I said earlier sticks because Script had a chance to come in and defend himself and he didn't.
Bye.